Complex in Peoria, Illinois. The NFHS Network and IHSA welcome you to the Class 3A state title game. Our 2022 champion will either be Lemont or St. Ignatius, and we'll find out who the winner is in about an hour and a half. We expect a high-octane, fast-paced game. Two great pitchers going at it. For St. Ignatius, Ellie Giles. For Lemont, Sage Margetko. Two pitchers that had a lot of success in both teams' respective semifinal wins yesterday.
They're both very good.
And it'll be Ellie Giles in the circle for St. Ignatius first, going against a pretty good Lemont lineup. You'll see it all on the NFHS Network. I'm Joey Wright alongside Frank Blaine, our technician, Nick Albrecht, our camera operator. So we get ready to roll in Peoria, a 3A state title on the line. St. Ignatius, 29, 8-1 entering this season. Lemont, 33-6 entering the state title game. And Lemont leading things off with Allison Polowicz, Alyssa DeMaio, and Frankie Rita. The 1-2-3.
Ball high and outside. Strike one, 1-1. Joey had to step out for a second. Foul ball, strike two. Ball high. 2-2.
And then it got a little quiet at the end there. So they scored a run. I guarantee she'll be here.
Strike three.
Coming into play, right fielder, number 23, Alyssa DeMaio.
Interesting, the center fielder is actually playing to the left, in left field a little bit. They must be expecting her to pull the ball. Ball one. Strike two. Strike one. 1-1. On Alyssa. Infield's playing way in. Strike two. Third baseman is playing in 12 feet. She's even with the pitcher. Foul tip. Fouled back. Strikeout. Took the third strike right down the middle.
Coming to the plate, catcher, number 24, Frankie Rita.
The catcher's coming up. Frankie Rita. There's 2 outs. Ball high. Strike one. Strike two. Foul ball out of play. Ground ball. Shortstop picks it up. Oh, and the play is missed at first. We have our first base runner of the day. Frankie Rita probably will be ruled a hit because it was a nice sharp hit to the shortstop. Frankie Rita beat it out. She had great hustle getting down to first base. Oh. One hit. One left on base. We'll come back to the bottom of the first after a quick break.
The IHSA Softball Championships are presented by Country Financial.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and they care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Standing by, and we're back. We're back, and I am no longer the courtesy announcer. Joy is back. I'm glad. Good to have you back, Joy. We had, in the last inning, we had 2 strikeouts and a fly out to second base. We did get somebody on. Frankie, the catcher.
Yep, Frankie Rita.
Frankie Rita hit a nice ball to the shortstop. Shortstop had a wee bit of trouble, corralling it, but got a quick throw off. But Frankie beat it to first base. So I don't think that was an error. I think that was just a well-hit ball. And that was basically the first inning.
Well, Frank, I appreciate you filling in for me.
I'm sure the audience doesn't, but...
Oh, man. No, give yourself some credit now. You're all...
I'm a director, and I'm very much more accustomed to talking to the camera people and telling them what framing shots and, but Nick was wanting to come in and actually off camera and enjoying me and having two techs talk. We would talk about the type of camera we're using, the lens we've chose to use, and
That's right.
But now we're going to go back.
Shots you're taking.
But now we're going to come to softball, and I'm letting you take it over now. Thank you much.
Well, Frank, I appreciate it, and also a call to Nick Albrecht, our camera operator. Joey Wright back in with you. Abby Lee leading things off in the bottom of the first inning for St. Ignatius, the second baseman for the Wolfpack, and she takes strike one. Lemont, 33 wins this season. St. Ignatius, 29. Battle of two terrific pitchers. And we're seeing Sage Margetko for Lemont. Margetko threw a perfect game against Metamora in the super sectional round of the playoffs to lift Lemont to the biggest stage of them all, 3A class title game here, as that's going to skip past the catcher, Frankie Rita. A ball and two strikes now to Abby Lee. Sophia Fredericks on deck, the shortstop. Sam Steinhofer, the first baseman, in the hole as Lee goes down on strikes. And as Frank alluded to, two strikeouts in the top of the first inning. We're going to see a lot of strikeouts today as Lee goes down on strikes. Sophia Fredericks, the shortstop, coming in here for St. Ignatius. Tries to bunt, can't drop it down. Fredericks on the season, 31 games, 80 at-bats. A .238 hitter, has scored 16 runs. So if she can get on base, watch out. That's right around middle of the pack on this St. Ignatius team that has a lot of players that can score runs. And Sage Margetko for Lemont. How about this? A 19-1 record this season, 128 innings of work, 304 strikeouts, and a .27 ERA. That was entering yesterday's semifinal against Antioch. Antioch wound up winning third place earlier against Mahomet Seymour. This is the final 3A game of the season. Low and inside to Fredericks, ball 3. (3-1). She shows bunt, pulls back, strike 2. The count now full. Sam Steinhofer, the first baseman, waits in the on-deck circle. Caroline Levy, the center fielder, in the hole. Full count, strikeout, down goes Fredericks. 2 away in the bottom of the first. And that'll open the door for Steinhofer, the first baseman, to come in. Steinhofer, the first baseman, 32 games, 95 at-bats entering the state tournament. .337 average, 3 doubles, 3 home runs. For Steinhofer, takes ball 1. .10 on the way. Swung on and missed. Weren't sure quite what game we'd see. Weren't sure if we'd see the pitcher's duel or maybe a little more offense than we've seen. Pitcher's duel thus far, although we're only in an inning of work, and what a play at third base. Reagan Duncan robbed Sam Steinhofer of a base hit. Got the glove up and pulled it in, and that's how the first inning will come to an end. Scoreless after 1, Lemont coming back up to bat in the top of the second. You're watching the NFHS Network.
Have you said yes to being an organ, tissue, and eye donor? It's a powerful decision to give life to others when you're gone. Today, we cheer for Libby, her family, and all those who say yes to donation. You have the power to save and enhance lives. Sign up today at DonateLifeIllinois.org and say yes to being a donor.
The IHSA Softball Championships are presented by Country Financial.
Welcome back to Louisville Slugger Sports Complex in Peoria, Illinois. Alongside Frank Blaine, Nick Albrecht, I'm Joey Wright. Glad to have you with us for 2 more games after this, and we're in the early stages of this game through an inning, so call it 3 games left today, and they're all important. This is the Class 3A state title game for the 2022 season. Up next, the 4A third place game and the 4A state title game to follow. We're moving right along in Peoria. And these are the fun ones. These are the games you literally wait all season for. Reagan Duncan in at the plate for Lemont to lead off the top of the second. She swings and misses at strike 1. Ellie Giles in the circle for St. Ignatius. Already 2 strikeouts. Has surrendered a hit. Reagan Duncan trying to add hit number 2 to Lamont's line. Fouls that one back. It's 0-2. Duncan, a sophomore. On the season in 33 games, entering Peoria. 84 at-bats, a 440 hitter. Not too bad. 10 doubles, 3 triples, and 6 home runs. And those 6 long balls lead the team. Swings at an inside offering, strike 3. Duncan goes down on strikes.
Coming into play, pitcher number 16, Sadie Arjetko.
So here's Sage Marjetko, the pitcher. And Sage Marjetko this season, pretty good at the plate as well. Maybe not quite as good as she's been in the circle, but still a very good season. 27 games, 67 at-bats, 343 average, 3 extra base hits, 2 of them doubles. And 2 home runs for Marjetko as well. South Carolina commit, only a junior, 0-2 with an out. Lemont in its second state tournament appearance. Or pardon me, not Lemont. St. Ignatius in its second state tournament appearance. The first in appearance in the 2014 3A tournament. Lemont was in the 3A tournament last season. Lost 1-0 in the state title game to Highland. 4 total appearances in the Big Dance for Lemont. They were here in 1989, finished 3rd. 1988, they finished 2nd. And 1985, they did not place. That was back when it was a 2-class system. 85, 88, and 89, they were in Class A. Here's the 1-2 on the way to Marjetko from Giles. What a pitching matchup, and it's pitcher versus pitcher. And Giles wins that battle, strike 3. Her 4th strikeout. And Nicole Pontrelli will look to become the first Lemont player to put the ball in play here in the 2nd inning. St. Ignatius Wolfpack, no mascot for Lemont. Giles winds and deals, and Pontrelli fouls it straight back. Lemont head coach Chris Trena is in his 15th season as a head coach. 353 wins to 153 losses and 1 tie. That tie came in 2016. Pretty even year for Lemont that season was. They were 15-15-1. And since Chris Trena has been at Lemont, they've not had a losing season. 15-15-1 in 2016 is as low as it got for the blue and gold. Oh, 0-2 to Pontrelli, trying to avoid the punch out. She won't. Strike three, and 3 consecutive strikeouts for Giles. 5 total, 3 in a row. And we'll head to the bottom of the second. St. Ignatius coming back up to hit. It's a pitcher's duel in the early stages at Louisville Slugger.
The IHSA Softball Championships are presented by Country Financial.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
You hear Caroline Levy introduced to start the bottom of the second inning. And Levy comes in to lead off the bottom of the second. Levy this season in her sophomore year, as she flies out there, having a pretty good campaign, entering Peoria. 101 at-bats, a .327 average. Not to be there as she flies out to the catcher Rita. 4 up, 4 down for St. Ignatius. Lizzie Neiman, the third baseman, will try and change that. Swings and misses at strike 1. One swings at that, doesn't connect, strike 2. Inside, ball 1, and Neiman will stay alive. Still has to protect down 1 and 2. Neiman, 80 at-bats coming into this weekend, a .300 average, nice and even. Takes this one to first, flip to the second baseman covering Pasilla. Nice flip from Avery Taylor, 2 away. Score of that is a 3-4, and it'll bring in Ellie Giles, the pitcher. Giles in 91 at-bats, a .264 mark this season. 8 doubles, a triple, and 5 home runs. Wanted to offer at that. Good thing she didn't. Ball 1. Beautiful day for softball in Peoria. Cloudy, but rain much less threatening than it was yesterday. St. Ignatius and Giles chopping that one right back to Margetco, and that ends the second inning, and we are flying right along. 2 innings in the books already, 5 to go. Still no score, and we've had just 1 hit. It was from Lemont in the first inning. They get another chance to come up to the plate when we come back on NFHS Network.
Have you said yes to being an organ, tissue, and eye donor? It's a powerful decision to give life to others when you're gone. Today, we cheer for Libby, her family, and all those who say yes to donation. You have the power to save and enhance lives. Sign up today at donatelifeillinois.org and say yes to being a donor.
The IHSA Softball Championships are presented by Country Financial.
Welcome back to Louisville Slugger Sports Complex in Peoria, Illinois. IHSA Class 3A Softball Championship game. Here in 2022, Lemont and St. Ignatius locked in a good one early. Lemont looking for its second hit today. And it'll be Avery Taylor, Maya Hollandoner, and Allison Polowicz. The 3 for Lemont in to try and spark some offense. But St. Ignatius' Ellie Giles has struck out 3 batters in a row and has 5 strikeouts. 7 batters faced entering the top of the third. Pitchers duel in the early stages. Glad you're with us today on NFHS Network. Glad you've been with us throughout this weekend and last weekend too. Our crew, Nick Albrecht and Frank Blaine. Nick on our camera, Frank on our computer. I'm Joey Wright. And we'd like to extend the call, of course, to the good folks at the IHSA and Louisville Slugger Sports Complex for being so accommodating to our crew. Top of the third coming up, and immediately Avery Taylor will step out. And Taylor facing Giles takes ball 1. And Taylor didn't have much for that one. Offered at it, didn't connect. It's strike 2. Or strike 1, pardon me. 1-1. Squares up a bunt, drops one down, and she's out. Terrific throw from third. Lizzie Neiman fires it over to the first base bag in time, and Steinhofer gloves out number 1. So here's Maya Hollandoner coming up. Hollandoner's first at-bat today. First plate appearance, I should say. We don't know if it'll be an at-bat quite yet. She bunts one down the first base line. Quick fire back over to first is dropped, and Hollandoner is going to be aboard via an error. And the top of the order coming up for Lemont.
Shortstop, number 25, Allison Polowicz.
So Allison Polowicz comes in, struck out to start the game. Double play possibility on. Giles trying to dance out of trouble. Pops up a bunt foul into the screen. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Polowicz. We'll see if she bunts again. Squares one up. And that'll be ball 1. Here's the 1-1, popped up. See if it's playable. It is not. And into the padded backstop crashes at least Wolf. One and two with an out. Swung on and missed. Throw down to second. Kicks off the glove. And watch out. Fredericks couldn't haul it in. That's all the way into center field. Lemont is on the board. Maya Hohentoner all the way in from first. Throw to second. I believe that was Fredericks coming over to cover from short, and it just kicked off her glove and deflected all the way in to center field. And Hohentoner and Lemont have a run. And that'll bring in Alyssa DeMaio, the right fielder who struck out in the first. DeMaio runs up, does an offer at it. Ball one. And bunts one foul down the third base line. Giles misses outside. 2-1. Catcher Frankie Rita is on deck, and then it would be Natalie Pasilla. Two and one to DeMaio. Strike two, 2-2. Now 2-2. Fouled back, and this is where Giles could really use. Out number 3 needs to fire a strike in. Doesn't want to let this Lemont lead grow any larger. Two and two to DeMaio. Outside, full count, 3-2. Full count, 2-out delivery. Popped foul down the left field line. Great battle here. DeMaio fighting for everything. The full count. If she could draw a walk, that would be a huge boost for Lemont. Would put some wind in their sails. Here's the 3-2. Strike 3 called on the outside part of the plate, and that's how the top of the third will end. Lemont on the scoreboard. In to score, Hohentoner. And that's how the top of the third looks. Looking back on it, could be the one run that wins the game for Lemont. St. Ignatius has got to get a hit. They've been held off the scoreboard thus far. And we'll see if they can change that when we come back on NFHS Network.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
You are watching live coverage of the IHSA Softball Championships on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/IHSA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Illinois high school playoff action. Today's game is available for download. Click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a copy right to your computer. And today's game is also available live for all subscribers via the NFHS Network Live mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today to start watching live games wherever you are. Strike one to Peyton Goodwin. Strike two to Goodwin as a fire truck passes by the neighboring street. Goodwin trying to sound the alarms. Takes ball one. One-two to Goodwin. And swings under that one, strike three. Grace Van Pelt in. She is the designated player for St. Ignatius. This season, Van Pelt, a .222 average in 90 at-bats. 2 doubles and 3 triples. One of the few players who has more triples than doubles, but that's where Van Pelt finds herself here in the state tournament. And she swings through that one. Strike two. Tipped into the catcher's mitt, and that'll be strikeout number 2 in the third inning. That was hit right back to Frankie Rita. And now another catcher comes in, Elise Wolf, making her first plate appearance for St. Ignatius. Wolfpack have sent 8 hitters up to the plate, and Sage Margetko has retired all of them. 0-1, bunted at, foul. And Wolf will try to do that again on the 0-2.
You're about as cautious as Tracy with hiding the trophy so they don't get a foul ball. And then you almost got plugged down there.
I did. I was aware. It wasn't going to get me. I saw it coming.
0-2 inside, 1-2. And Wolf swings and misses. 4 straight strikeouts from Margetko. She's not allowed a base runner through 3 innings. Lemont already has a run. They'll try to add to their lead when we come back. You're watching the NFHS Network.
Have you said yes to being an organ, tissue, and eye donor? It's a powerful decision to give life to others when you're gone. Today, we cheer for Libby, her family, and all those who say yes to donation. You have the power to save and enhance lives. Sign up today at donatelifeillinois.org and say yes to being a donor.
The IHSA Softball Championships are presented by Country Financial.
Peoria, Illinois, the site. IHSA State Softball, the event. 2022 IHSA 3A state title game, Lemont and St. Ignatius. Lemont can now say it is 4 innings away from raising a state title trophy. But St. Ignatius right there, it's only a 1-run game. But it has the feel, and you know, you don't want to over-exaggerate. You don't want to make too much of nothing if nothing's there. But this has the feeling of a game that could be decided by a 1-0 score, a 2-1 score, 2-0 kind of game. Both these pitchers are terrific, Sage Margetko and Ellie Giles, and you've just got the feeling that maybe the winning run has already come across. Certainly, maybe it hasn't. St. Ignatius has plenty of time left to mount a rally, not writing them off in the slightest, but that's got to be in the back of your mind on both teams, but especially St. Ignatius right now, is there is no more room for error. Because Sage Margetko, through 3 innings, hasn't allowed a hit, and she's not going to let up. Chess match as Frankie Rita comes in to lead off the 4th inning. And that one pops away from Wolf. No matter, we'll do it on the 1-0. One 0 to Rita. And it's 1-1. Here's Rita lifting one fair down the left field line. Base hit for Lemont. She'll stop at first with a single. Rita's second hit today. Also reached in the first inning. And Natalie Pasiga comes in, trying to move Rita along and get on base herself. Giles and the St. Ignatius infield will have a meeting. And Pasiga rips one high and deep into center field. It's caught out there at the track by Levy, but Duncan will hold it first. And a rousing round of applause for Levy out there in center field. And Lamont's bats are starting to heat up. Reagan Duncan struck out to lead off the second inning. Squares up a bunt, pops it up. Not playable, it hits the screen, 0-1. Duncan steps out. Oh, 1 to Duncan. Swings through strike 2, but advancing up 60 feet is Frankie Rita.
We just had a catcher steal a base.
We sure did.
We'll never hear the end of it. Sorry. I'm an ex-catcher. Can't help it.
I was going to say, it's the catcher in you talking. This is taken right back to the circle. Caught, and immediately Giles turning around, seeing if the double play possibility was on. Good base running from the catcher, Frankie Rita. And she's back in time. So you've got Frankie Rita, the catcher, at second base. And we've got Frank, our former catcher, behind the computer. How about that? That might be a courtesy runner for Rita. I have to check. No, it doesn't look like it is. That is Frankie Rita running at second base. IHSA rules, you can, and a lot of teams will usually do this. They'll pull the pitcher or the catcher or sometimes the designated player when they reach base for the courtesy runner. But Rita allowed to hang in there and keep running, got a good lead. And walking it back out is Elise Wolf. Sage Margetko at the plate could help her own cause. With 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, Margetko on the season has driven in 11 runs. Fouls that one back. Overwhelming majority of Margetko's hits have been singles. Of her 23 hits, just 5 of them have been anything but 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. And now the 1-2. Swung through, and down on strikes goes Margetko. The top of the 4th ends inauspiciously for Lemont. They strand Rita at second base. No runs come across. St. Ignatius trying to hop into any column. When we come back, they don't have a hit or a run or a base runner. We'll see if they can change that after this quick break.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Ready to roll in the bottom of 4. Joey Wright in with you. The rest of our NFHS Network crew, Frank Blaine and Nick Albrecht, glad you're with us. And Abby Lee ready to stand in for St. Ignatius as the Wolfpack go back to the top of the order. Lee and Fredericks and Steinhofer. Lee and Fredericks, Sophia Fredericks that is, struck out in the first inning. Steinhofer, Sam Steinhofer that is, lined out to the third baseman. High school sports fans, never miss another game. Become a subscriber to the NFHS Network to watch live event coverage, game replays, and highlights from high school sporting events from across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination. NFHSnetwork.com. We are high school.
Second baseman, number 4, Abby Lee.
And Abby Lee coming up to the plate to lead off the fourth. Takes high, ball one. If you are here a little early, tell you more on that in a moment as Lee grounds out to second. Nice play, easy play by Pasiga. If you're here a little early and getting ready for the Class 4A third place game, that should get going a little after 1 o'clock. It'll be Barrington versus St. Charles North. Versus Edwardsville, pardon me. Yeah, big mistake to make there, but yeah, Edwardsville versus Barrington. Yeah, that'll be for third place, and then St. Charles North will play in the championship game at 3:30 versus Marist. 0-1 to Fredericks, and low. But she bunted at it, didn't pull it back, strike two. And down on strikes goes Fredericks, 2 outs. Sam Steinhofer, the first baseman, now in for the Wolfpack. Last hope in the bottom of 4. One and 0. Two and 0 inside. Strike one. Now 2-2 to Steinhofer with 2 outs. First baseman trying to stay alive, the freshman. 0 for 1. Took one to third last time. And strikes out to end the 4th inning. 3 innings left. Lemont back up after this break. They lead 1-0, and they're starting to close in on a potential 3A title.
Have you said yes to being an organ, tissue, and eye donor? It's a powerful decision to give life to others when you're gone. Today, we cheer for Libby, her family, and all those who say yes to donation. You have the power to save and enhance lives. Sign up today at DonateLifeIllinois.org and say yes to being a donor.
The IHSA Softball Championships are presented by Country Financial.
Welcome back to Peoria, Louisville Slugger Sports Complex and Peterson Hotels Field. Beautiful complex. 10 outdoor fields, 1 indoor dome that can host a myriad of events. And every game at this year's IHSA State Tournament, both for this weekend and last weekend. This weekend's Class 3A and 4A, 1A and 2A was last weekend, being played here at the Stadium Field, which has a little more seating available down the baselines and behind home plate than do the other fields.
And is the home to Bradley softball as well. Bradley University plays here.
Of course. The Bradley Braves have had a lot of success here last couple of years. Missouri Valley Conference champions in 2009 and 2014. And in fact, Bradley, when they take this field in the fall for their fall exhibition games, will have a new head coach, Sarah Willis, replacing Amy Hayes, who had a great tenure at Bradley. Former head coach at Bowling Green and Texas Tech standout at one point. Sarah Willis is going to look to lead the Braves to a lot more success here at Peterson Hotels Field. As this is played behind home plate, what a catch. What a catch that was from Wolf. One away, Pontrelli retired.
Number 20, hitting for number 22, Olivia Parent. All right, just completely shut it down. And
There he goes. You got it.
Thank you, Andy.
0-1 now to Olivia Parent. Parent saw some action yesterday as a courtesy runner, now pinch hitting for Avery Taylor. Bunts at that one, playable at third, throw across is in time by a step. Heck of a throw from Lizzie Neiman at third base, and there are 2 outs in the top of 5. And now Maya Hollandoner, who reached via an error in the third inning, came around to score. The game's lone run is back in at the plate. Takes inside strike 1. Freshman swings and misses at the 0-1, and now a 2-strike count. Top of the order follows Hollandoner. Middle of the order due up for St. Ignatius. They still don't have a base runner. They've gone up 12 up and 12 down. Hollandoner takes strike 3 inside. And that ends the top of the 5th inning. No more runs for Lemont. Still Hollandoner's run in the third that has made the difference. St. Ignatius trying to claw back. Tough to say claw back in a 1-0 game, but runs have been really hard to come by, not only today, but this weekend. Bottom of the 5th coming up on NFHS Network.
The IHSA Softball Championships are presented by Country Financial.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Welcome back to Louisville Slugger Sports Complex. Bottom of the 5th is upon us. And how about this? Sage Margetko working on something special for Lemont. Through 4 innings, nothing in the offensive categories for St. Ignatius. Already 8 strikeouts as I count them up for Marjetko. Caroline Levy and to bat. And swings and misses. That's strike 2. Levy, Neiman, Giles. That one's fouled back into the screen. We'll redo the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There was talk before this game. Some folks were saying they expected it to be an offensive showcase. They expected a high-scoring, big swinging kind of game, and it has not been that. Lizzie Neiman in with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th, and it's going to be 1-0 high. And I'm a guy that likes a good pitcher's duel. So this weekend, and last weekend too, 2 terrific weekends of softball here at the IHSA State Championship. 1A and 2A had amazing championship games last Saturday. Both went into extra innings. Came absolutely right down to the wire. Thrilling wins for Illini Bluffs and Rock Ridge. How about this? Quick note on the 2A champion Rock Ridge Rockets. They've still not lost a game since before the COVID-19 pandemic. 2 perfect seasons in a row, capped off with an extra innings victory in last weekend's 2A state final. Longest 2A state championship game ever. As that's sent foul down the first base line. Back to today, Neiman grounded out to first base in the 2nd inning. Takes one opposite side here, eaten up over there at third. Throw across the diamond is not in time. And Lizzie Neiman aboard with an infield hit, I would call it. I'd call that an infield single. There was a little bobble at third, but a hard hit ball. I don't know. They'll rule that an error. Could go either way. And that keeps the no-hitter intact for Marjetko. But in the broader context of the game, Marjetko doesn't care about that no-hitter. She wants to make sure that Neiman doesn't come in from first. Lemont meeting in the circle. And there you get a look at the conversation between one of our umpires and Chris Trena. And Ellie Giles comes in. How about this? The pitcher for St. Ignatius. The go-ahead run, bottom half of the 5th, has a runner at first that represents the tying run. Outfield playing back, trying to keep everything in front of him with 1 out. Not as deep as we've seen him play this weekend, but giving her a few steps, and now it's 1-1. If Giles could find a gap, it would probably bring in Neiman from first. Strike 2. Giles, 25 runs driven in this season, 5 home runs. But more importantly, perhaps than home runs, 8 doubles and a triple. There's that gap power. 1-2, lifted high and deep down the left field line and caught in foul territory. Neiman back to first, she won't tag. Off the bat, it looked like it had a chance. It died out there on the warning track-ish. And right on the foul line, I said in foul territory, but really it was right on the foul line. A terrific catch made by Nicole Pontrelli. And those are the plays you have to make in a state championship game. I mean, Pontrelli runs that one down. Not an easy play to make, but at this level, with what's on the line, those are the plays you have to make. Pontrelli, if she lets that fall, I don't know if it would have been fair or foul. If it's foul, perhaps inconsequential, but if that's fair, that changes this game completely. Peyton Goodwin behind 0-1. Takes outside 1-1. Fouled away. And a 1-2 count for Goodwin. Swung and a miss. Swing and a miss. And Goodwin goes down on strikes. And after Lizzie Neiman reaches first base with one out, a deep fly out from Giles and a strikeout from Goodwin in the fifth inning. 2 innings left to play. Lemont's lead is ever so slim, and they'll come back out to try and build on it after this.
Have you said yes to being an organ, tissue, and eye donor? It's a powerful decision to give life to others when you're gone. Today, we cheer for Libby, her family, and all those who say yes to donation. You have the power to save and enhance lives. Sign up today at donatelifeillinois.org and say yes to being a donor.
Welcome back to Louisville Slugger Sports Complex. You're watching live coverage of the IHSA Softball Championships on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/IHSA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Illinois high school playoff action. Today's game is available for download. Click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a digital copy of the event right to your computer. Today's game is also available for all subscribers via the NFHS Network Live mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today to start watching live games wherever you are. Allison Polowicz is in, runs up trying to bunt at that one and misses 1-0. Polowicz, the sophomore. Bunts that one foul. It's 1-1. Polowicz pulls back, 2-1. Popped up, fouled down the line. 2-2. Two-one and fouled away. 2-2. Paulowick's trying to stay alive. And Lemont looking for more insurance. Leading 1-0 here in the 6th, and this has popped up. Someone had to call for it, and eventually it was Wolf that called for it, called off Giles and company, 1 out. Catchers today, and this goes back to the Muhammad Seymour game. The catchers today have been pretty on top of it. A lot of good plays behind the plate. Muhammad Seymour in the third-place game falling to Antioch. I'm not going to lie. I did the, called that game, and I've called all the games this weekend. I had to go to my web browser and confirm who Muhammad Seymour played. All these teams are blending together at this point. But Lemont and St. Ignatius standing out among the pack, playing for a Class 3A state championship here. 1-0 count fouled away down the first base line. And it's 1-1 to Alyssa DeMaio. One to DeMaio. And this is bunted towards the third baseman, and coming in to make the play is Neiman. Throws to first. 2 away. Two outs for Rita, who has reached base twice, including a single in the 4th. Got on base in the top of the first inning as well. Takes this one to short. Going to be a tough play. She is out by a step on a great throw from Sophia Fredericks. And that is how the top of the 6th inning concludes. On to the bottom half. St. Ignatius needs a run. Still looking for their first hit. Crunch time in the 3A state final.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Welcome back to Louisville Slugger Sports Complex. A run for Lemont, no runs, no hits for St. Ignatius, but St. Ignatius still very much right in this game. Big time bottom of the 6th coming up for the Wolfpack. Grace Van Pelt, Elise Wolf, the 8 and 9 hitters in the Wolfpack order, will have a chance before it turns over to the top of the order, and Abby Lee. Here's Van Pelt, who struck out in the 3rd inning. One out to Van Pelt. And Van Pelt swings and misses, 1-1. Down in the dirt, and And it's Van Pelt, 2-1. Lofted high, trailing foul, and a sliding grab. How about that from Lemont's Natalie Pasiga? One out, and St. Ignatius just can't find the turf with some of these hits. Pasiga with a terrific hit, or a terrific snag. F4 when you score it, but she had to roam a long way to get to that, and it's Elise Wolf, the sophomore catcher, in. Struck out in the third as well. Wolf, the 0-1, bunts this one, and throw from the circle to first base is in time. And Wolf can't spark anything in the bottom of the order, but Abby Lee will come in. It's been retired twice, once via a strikeout, once via a ground out to second. Lee, a sophomore, trying to get St. Ignatius going. They've reached once via an error, and that was when Lizzie Neiman got on in the fifth inning, but the no-hitter's still intact for Marjetko. 1-0, swung on and missed. Ball 2 to Lee, and St. Ignatius doesn't necessarily need a hit if they can get on base via a walk and manufacture that run home. Fouled back, straight back. It's 2-2. Now 2-2 to Lee. Full count, 2 outs. Marjetko rips one, just foul down the line, and that would have been big. But she can't keep it fair. Lee can't keep it fair. And she'll do it again on the 3-2. Two-out pitch to Lee. Outside ball 4, she'll take her base. Tying run at first. Go-ahead run, and Sophia Fredericks coming to the plate. Fredericks has struck out twice. But her biggest opportunity here for redemption. Oh, 0-1 to Fredericks. And Frederick swings through that one, strike 2. Oh, 2 to Fredericks. Swings through it, strike 3, inning over. And Lemont, 3 outs away from clinching a 3A state championship. They'll have an opportunity to add more insurance when the 7th inning starts. Stay with us on the NFHS Network.
The IHSA Softball Championships are presented by Country Financial.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Welcome back to Louisville Slugger Sports Complex, 7th inning coming up here. And Ellie Giles is back in the circle trying to keep Lemont off the scoreboard any further. Lemont won, St. Ignatius scoreless. Lemont has a chance to build on its lead before the bottom of the 7th rolls around. Mika's in the bottom of the 7th, St. Ignatius. Can tie it right now with a run or win it with 2. But Sage Margetko, Lamont's pitcher, still has a no-hitter intact, albeit no longer a perfect game. And maybe some insurance coming for Margetko as Natalie Pasiga sends one into the left center field gap, a leadoff double. Pass ball, and that'll move a big runner up to second. Pasiga takes third. Reagan Duncan steps out of the batter's box behind 0-1. And now 1-1 to Duncan. Outfield playing really deep for Duncan. Almost at the warning track. Ball 2. Fouled back. Now 2-2. Two to Duncan. Swing and a miss, strike 3. She's down on strikes. And that'll bring in Sage Margetko, the junior. Could help her own cause and try to bring in Natalie Pasiga home from third. A second run in a game in which Margetko has a no-hitter going would really go a long way for Lemont. Fouls that one back. 0-1. Strike 2. And Margetko down on strikes, and that's a huge strikeout for Ellie Giles in the circle for St. Ignatius, because now Nicole Pontrelli comes up to hit with 2 outs. Sacrifice fly possibility off. And Pontrelli could drive that run in, certainly with a single. That outfield still playing really deep. But if Giles can fire in a strike, St. Ignatius still has a chance in the bottom of the 7th. Steinhofer, Levy, and Neiman. And then Giles. The 3 and then 4 due up for St. Ignatius. Giles wouldn't have a chance unless some folks in front of her reach base. 1-1. One to Pontrelli, swing and a miss, strike 2. One-two to Pontrelli. Swung on and missed, and Giles gets out of the jam. From having a runner at third with no outs to 3 straight strikeouts, Lemont is 3 outs away from a state championship, but St. Ignatius might have some momentum. Steinhofer, Levy, Neiman, the 3 due up. Stay with us. St. Ignatius has a chance in the bottom half.
Have you said yes to being an organ, tissue, and eye donor? It's a powerful decision to give life to others when you're gone. Today, we cheer for Libby, her family, and all those who say yes to donation. You have the power to save and enhance lives. Sign up today at donatelifeillinois.org and say yes to being a donor.
The IHSA Softball Championships are presented by Country Financial.
Welcome back. We are potentially 3 outs away from a Lemont State Championship, or we could see a rally and a St. Ignatius Championship. In the bottom of the 7th, it's the 3A state title game. Winner reigns supreme over all others in the class in the 2022 season. Samantha Steinhofer in at the plate. Takes strike 1. St. Ignatius still no hits. They've reached base on a walk and an error. 2 base runners for the Wolfpack. Nothing to show for them. And this is their last chance to touch Sage Margetko, who is working on a no-hitter in the state title game. 1-2 to Steinhofer. And she chases outside. She's down on strikes. Lemont 2 outs away. Caroline Levy in at the plate, the center fielder. A fly out, right back to the catcher, and a strikeout. 0-1 to Levy. Foul ball off the bat of Levy. They'll do the 0-2 again. Levy waiting on the 0-2. Sprays one foul towards the first base dugout. To Levy. Swung on and missed. Sage Margetko has to face one more batter. It's Lizzie Neiman, who reached via error in the 5th inning. And if Lemont can get through Neiman, they'll be state champions. Lemont in its 5th appearance in the IHSA state tournament. Runners up last year to Highland, a crushing 1-0 loss. They could be on the other side of it today with a 1-0 win if they can finish off the Wolfpack. Margetko winds and deals high. Ball 1. Previous appearances didn't amount to much. They were all in the 80s. One. Outside, strike 2. Margetko, a strike away from a no-hitter and a state championship. Lizzie Neiman tries to stay alive. She doesn't. Strike 3. Lemont, your state champions, and a no-hitter for Sage Margetko. And the celebration is on. Of course, Margetko's individual accomplishment, nothing compared to what the team has accomplished this season. And they will finish with 34 wins and 6 losses. Margetko, her second no-hitter this postseason. No-hit Metamora in the super sectional rounds. And how about that? She's our Country Financial Player of the Game. Sage Margetko, the celebration on. And how about a word for St. Ignatius? A terrific season. Second place, nothing to be ashamed of. Ran into a brick wall today. Had some base runners at points, just couldn't push them across. And Lemont can celebrate its first ever state championship. That'll do it for our coverage of the 2A state final, or the 3A state final, pardon me. Congratulations to Lemont, a 1-0 win over St. Ignatius. Our entire crew, Nick Albrecht behind the camera, Frank Blaine behind our computer. I'm Joey Wright. 2 more games coming at you today, a 4A third place game. Coming up next in about a half hour after that, it's the 4A state championship game. And it's going to be a good third place game, Barrington and Edwardsville, and then in the 4A state championship game, St. Charles North and Edwardsville. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and congratulations to your 2022 IHSA 3A state champions, Lemont.
That is indeed a no-hitter for St. Martin's.